happened on November 10th. The first game is the Wizards beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Wizards, after this game, they were the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, which is crazy because Bradley Beal has been playing so bad. 4 for 19 here. Beal is a huge buy low. Gafford and Harrell remains to be a super sell high. Super sell high. He's a 20th ranked player. Averaging 30 minutes. A majority of Harrell's value is from his efficiency, 64% from the field. And we also got to think about Thomas Bryant. And we also got to think about matchup. Sometimes he just won't be getting 25 plus minutes. If they need more interior defense, they might just play Daniel Gafford more. Gafford's minutes, he's starting, but his minutes has been consistently under 25. So that's a bit disappointing. But I think Harrell is we still try to sell high on Harrell and Daniel Gafford. If he gets dropped in category leagues, I will look to pick him up. I think I want to roster him just because he blocked 2 shots a game and give us a little bit of rebound and everything else. Bradley Beal is a buy low, and Spencer Dinwiddie, everything looks great. It just, for him, it's about the steal numbers. Kyle Kuzma, Kyle Kuzma, a lot of people hate on him, but I think Kyle Kuzma has been playing well on the Wizards, averaging 15 points and 9 rebounds and 2.5 threes. Ranking-wise, he's pretty bad. He's the 129th ranked player because, first of all, he's shooting 43%. I think that's out to improve. Maybe he's taking a lot of threes. 0.6 blocks is not the worst. The main thing is he's shooting 47% from the free throw line on just 2 attempts though. But he should be a 70 and 80 guy, and when that happens, he's a top 110, top 100. But if we look at each category, if we break down each categories, the 9 rebounds is real good. 9 rebounds and 2.5 threes. I don't know how many guys in the NBA have that combination. JJJ certainly don't have 9 rebounds. So because of the uniqueness of what he's bringing to the table, I think I want to roster him, especially if I want those rebounds and blocks. Sorry, rebounds and threes, and a little bit of points as well. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Evan Mobley played 25 minutes because he was in some foul trouble in the first half. He should be fine. To me, he's a top 50 player. If he can bring in more defensive stats, then his upside, like more blocks specifically. If he can average, 1.8 blocks, then he's a top 30 guy, I think. So far this season, he's been scoring a bunch in the last few games. Just a 62nd ranked player, averaging 1.3 blocks, right? If he can get that up to 1.8, then he'll be good to go. I don't know if he will though. Just some thoughts. Just saying the guy could have some upside. 15 points, he could improve on that. 8 rebounds, like all the counting stats, I think it's a possibility that the counting stat could go up. Efficiency has been great. 51% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. Jarrett Allen remains to be, I don't know, like a sell high. 2 steals and 2 blocks, 10 rebounds, 13 points. He actually ranks higher than Evan Mobley. But he's very different. Like in terms of fantasy game, Evan Mobley doesn't really hit 83s, but Jarrett Allen really just the points and the field goal. So far, he's just averaging 1 block. That's disappointing, but 60% from the field, there's no way he can sustain this. So I would look to maybe trade him for any top 50 guy. I think that would be hard. Darius Garland, 36 points, 36 minutes, 19 points, 4 assists, 3 threes, and a steal in an okay game from him. And Ricky Rubio is the guy that Colin Sexton is going to be out for a while, so he's a must roster. If he underperforms, I would even look to buy low. He should have we know what Ricky Rubio can do in category leagues, the assist, the steals. And now this year his usage is pretty high. Like he had 37 points last game at 20. I remember one year, a couple years ago when he was still on the Jazz, he pretty much struggled all season. And then when the fantasy playoff came around, he just played like a god, like averaging 20 points and 3 threes a game. So good stuff. And he must be rostered, obviously. The next team is the Brooklyn Nets. They're heating up a little bit. Easy game. versus the Magic. KD missed one shot, 11 for 12, crazy efficiency. But rebound assists, Harden took off them and no steals and no blocks, 6 turnovers. So meanwhile, the scoring is great, the efficiency is great. I want to see KD doing the other stuff, but it's just really nitpicking. He is the 5th ranked player. For KD, it's about stay healthy, averaging 29.5 points, leading the NBA at the moment. Good stuff from KD. And Bruce Brown, 3 steals in a block. We could hold Bruce Brown for the minutes are low across the board because nobody played the 4th. Otherwise, you've got it 27, 28. I like Bruce Brown for some rebounds and some defensive stats. Blake Griffin, no. Joe Harris and Patty Mills are 3-point streamers only, so I'm not even going to talk about them. Harden continues to have super low usage. Shot the ball pretty well this game against the bad Magic team, but 11 assists and rebound, all good. 2 steals, all good. But only 11 shots. I don't know if Harden is going to turn it on at some point. If I have to bet, I think he would. I don't think he would average. What was his average? He's averaged 18 points. If I had to bet, I think, over or under 22 points for Harden from this point forward, I will bet over pretty comfortably. I think at some point he's gonna pick it up. For the Orlando Magic, Fred's Wagner, maybe a sell high moment. He wasn't playing that well before this game. This game, if ignore the 6 steals, when you play versus Harden, sometimes you might just get some gifts. He is where's Franzi? Yep, he's the 84th ranked player in 9 categories, so that's good. He could be a top 90 guy. I think he's pretty efficient. He's like a Jeremy Lamb type of player. Pretty efficient, give you 13, 14 points on threes. No turnovers and efficient everywhere. He's averaging 1.1 turnover. And after this game, obviously 1.5 steals. But he's not the biggest steals guy. Probably around 1. So if you can't get any top 80, package him for a top 50 guy, I would. Wendell Carter Jr., he got poked in the eye. He had some sort of eye injury. Left the game. We don't know the severity. He might miss some games. So if he misses games, Okiki probably needs to be picked up. Okiki, we're start getting. If Okiki gets 30 minutes, I think we gotta pick him up. And in the meanwhile, Mo Bamba maybe gets a few more minutes. Okay, Mo Bamba continues to play great. And again, Jonathan Isaac, we don't know what happens when Jonathan Isaac comes back. But for now, Mo Bamba is providing top 30, 35 value. And mainly just the defensive stats. I like Mo Bamba. I still a little bit concerned with his minutes when everybody, we also got Markelle Fultz not coming in. Just like another guy, that potentially make Orlando Magic go small. I don't know. Although Mo Bamba could stretch the floor. So great stuff on him. And Cole Anthony struggled, shooting the ball, but 3 steals and 8 rebounds is still not bad. And Markelle Fultz is going to be back, like I said. We don't know what's going to happen. If I could sell him high for any top 30 player, I don't think I would think too much. Like Cole Anthony plus somebody else for Shai Gilgeous, or Cole Anthony plus somebody for Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard. Although Damian Lillard been playing pretty well. Jalen Suggs, 7 points. He's at this point, come on guys, he's not a must roster. I don't think I want to other rookies have higher upside. Markelle Fultz is going to be back. Who knows? They're all going to mess with his minutes, and he's only playing 25 minutes now. All right, let's look at the next game. The Toronto Raptors and lost to the Celtics. OG. Oh yeah, this is the second game for Siakam. Played 30 minutes. They're going small, so it looks like Scotty Bombs won't get impacted that much. Their front court actually, there's no 7-footers, but all pretty lengthy. OG, Scotty Barnes, and Siakam. Interesting brand of basketball they're playing. That's not good for Toronto big men, but Siakam, an okay game. He just got back from an injury. I think Siakam is a top 50 player. I look at him as. Scotty Bombs, still scoring a bunch. 21 points, 7 rebounds is great. 4 assists. It's about how many defensive stats he can bring. And for the season, he's 81st ranked player. I think, in the 80-90 range is where Scotty should be. This is how I look at him at this point. If he can bring more defensive, so far he's not hitting any threes, so he's kind of old school, 0.2 threes. Oh, one steal. That's because he had 5 steals in the last game around. So 1 steal and 0.6 blocks. So that's decent. Gary Trent Jr., 14 points, 2 threes. If he's not getting 3 steals a game, the stat doesn't look that good, does it? But I think if you're playing for the under the Raptors, everybody's just getting a lot of steals. I noticed that from Gary Trent Jr. last year as well. So he's not going to average 3 steals, but he could average 1.3, 1.4. I don't think that would be too crazy. And Fred VanVleet, 3 steals in a block. 4 threes, an okay game for Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet also has been underwhelming a little bit, but still the 27th ranked player. Still averaging 1.7 steals, so that's fine. At 7 assists with very, very low turnovers, 2.9 turnovers. I think over the years he always keep it under 2.5. But pretty strong from Fred VanVleet year in and year out. For the Celtics, look at that. Jaylen Brown out. They win. So I don't know. Jaylen Brown is gonna be out for a while, but with him out, everybody gets to shoot the ball a little bit more. Like Al Horford, Robert Williams, Dennis Schroeder, Marcus Smart, they all get 10 shots off. Jason Tatum still struggling. Remains to be a huge buy low. Like Montrezl Harrell plus somebody. Montrezl Harrell plus Cole Anthony. If you got Cole Anthony and Montrezl Harrell, let's try to do a 2-for-1. Al Horford, with Jaylen Brown out, Al Horford only got 24 minutes. And he was not in foul trouble. I don't know, because maybe Celtics just wanted to go a bit smaller. In his 24 minutes, he was a -20, while Robert Williams was a +20. So Al Horford was never going to sustain, a top 10 value. So maybe it's not too late. He's still the 13th ranked player. I would still try to sell him. Realistically, he's going to give us his 13 rebounds, 13 points. That may not even, maybe 11 points. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1.5 blocks, which is still good for top 50. But not the 13th ranked player. He's also shooting 90% from the free throw line. So Al Horford is a top 50 guy, and that's gonna miss some back-to-backs. So I look to trade him before it's too late. Robert Williams, 33 minutes is great. 2 steals in the block, and yeah. He was struggling quite a bit, and 46th round player. Yeah, I think in 9 category leagues, the big man, because their rankings are usually looks a lot better because they don't really turn the ball over. He's shooting 72% from the field. That's a bit high, but just the 1.8 blocks. To be honest, for Robert Williams, I want to see him getting 2.5. But maybe this year. Because he's playing 30 minutes a night, he's not going for every block. So who knows? Maybe he won't block 2.5 shots. Maybe just a 1.8. Either way, should be very, very easily a top 50, 40 player. Dennis Schroeder, 8 turnovers is bad. But if you just want some points and some assists, Dennis Schroeder is, points and assists pretty hard to get on the waiver wire. So, you gotta hold him. Marcus Smart. 6 assists, 3 steals in a block, 30 points. With Jaylen Brown out, he was scoring like 6-7 points. With Jaylen Brown out, he finally able to get 12 shots off. For Marcus Smart, it's about the defensive stats and some assists. And interestingly, Josh Richardson, with Jaylen Brown out, he got 32 minutes. We could look to stream him in the short term until Jaylen Brown comes back. All right, let's look at the next game. The Milwaukee Bucks. Oh man, we got a lot of games. Milwaukee Bucks beating the New York Knicks. Grayson Allen remains to be a huge sell high. Giannis Antetokounmpo, struggle shooting the ball, but 15 rebound, 8 assists, still in 2 blocks. Not really much to talk about. And plus 21, so it's good stuff. And Bobby Portis, I think if he's out there on the waiver wire, we have to pick him up. We have to pick him up now, and we'll also look to sell him high if possible. When Brook Lopez comes back, Bobby Portis could still get 20 minutes. Well, this game he only got 24. But he's gonna, he won't play. He won't play 30, 35 plus minutes a night. Sorry, just a little bit tired. George Hill, 33 minutes. Woke up at 6 today just for fun. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. George Hill, another guy you could look to stream, but value has been very, very minimal. And whenever what's his name? Middleton comes back, whenever Middleton comes back, Grayson Allen, George Hill, and maybe Pat Connaughton, these guys, they won't have any value. And I don't even know I want to stream them either. Jrue Holiday remains to be a huge buy low. 18 points. I mean, he had a pretty okay game. But again, he's a top 30, 35 guy in category leagues. So I'll look to buy low. And for the New York Knicks, yes, there's something to talk about. Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. They were both minus 22. They played horrible. They just didn't play in the fourth quarter. Both could be top 100 guy. Like, if you want to drop them, like, I don't think that's such a bad idea. Or you could hold. Like, you could go both ways. Because if you drop him, Kemba could, and Evan Fournier could play 30 minutes next game and have like 20 points easily. Or they could just play 22 minutes and Derrick Rose is going to play 30 and Alec Burks is going to play 30 and Emmanuel Quickly is going to play 30. So we just don't know. They have 5 quality guards on this team. Like D Rose, Alec Burks, and Emmanuel Quickly, they're all good. The guys coming off the bench. And I don't see Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker have such high upside on this Knicks team as well, because Randall, RJ, those guys are playing the highest minutes, have the most usage. So you could drop them. They don't have much upside, but if you want to hold them for a few more games and then try to sell them, that's also fine. Julius Randle also fallen off a little bit. This is early in the season, and he is he's still the 26th ranked player. And my strategy with Randle is I wait for a month or two and I look to try to sell him. Mitchell Robinson played 23 minutes. I don't think I want to drop it. Like, he's not doing anything at the moment. Sure, like we see that six rebound, 2 blocks. I will find a team in my league that's is loving some big man stats, and I'll look to trade him. I still think he has great upside on this team. Just the 23 minutes. Nolan Sawar didn't even play. But him and Nolan Sawar might just be a minute split moving forward. Both guys need to be rostered, and both guys need to, just specific team build, big man team build. That's when if your team is pounding points and threes, I think you gotta hold Mitchell Robinson and Nolan Sawar. You gotta hold both of them, and I would even go to try to trade for Mitchell. Yep, Derrick Rose. I don't think he's a must roster, because the next game he could just very well be just play 20 minutes. Let's go to the next game, the Detroit Pistons. It's the number 1 pick versus the number 2 pick. Detroit got the win, 112-104. Isaiah Stewart, man, what's up with him? 5 personal fouls in 15 minutes, but in those 15 minutes he had 5 points, 8 rebounds, a steal and block. It's not the worst. If you play 29, 30 minutes, it could have been a pretty good game against a pretty bad Rocket team. But disappointing, very, very disappointing for Isaiah Stewart this season. Jeremy Grant, great. I think it's probably a sell high. 35 minutes, if you could, to get any top 30 or 40 guy back. To me, he may not even be because he has such bad percentages, and even the defensive stats are not there. He could be just a top 70 or 80 guy. So right now, if you can trade any top 30, 40, I think I will do it. On the season, where is his rank? after this game, still he's just the 69th ranked player. So I mean, at this point, probably just hold. He does have like top 30, 40 upside, because you don't know. Like, he could just have 5 blocks, get a bunch of steals, and he's only shooting 40% at the moment. So probably just a hold, due to his low rankings at the moment. Cade Cunningham, one of his best games. The best games, because he's only played like 3-4 games so far. 30 minutes, had 20 points, 2 steals and a block. He's gonna be rough, especially with the percentages, but this is a good start against a bad Rockets team, of course. Kelly Olynyk was hurt. At the end of the game, I think he still hold. He got 25 minutes. And as long as Isaiah Stewart minutes is low, Kelly Olynyk is a must roster. For the Houston Rockets, Christian Wood, huge minutes. Christian Wood has been disappointing this season. But if you're pounding free throws, he's still a top 50 player. Again, 3 for 6. That's why you got Christian Wood. You have to pound free throws now, in the years to come. Otherwise, 37 minutes looks fine. 20 and 10. Jason Tate, 6 for 9 from the free throw line is bad. We could at least look to stream him. He's been getting a lot of minutes. And providing decent value, I would say. Daniel Theis, Şengün was out sick this game. Daniel Theis came in and played 27, 26 minutes. If he's out on the waiver wire, we could look to stream him at least, while Şengün is out. He was pretty bad though, minus 14, 26 minutes. Jalen Green, 23 points. Like, if you ask me to choose between Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr., I'd probably go with Kevin Porter Jr. because he provides the other stats. Although Kevin Porter Jr. 8 for 14, what is that? That is really bad free throw. But Jalen Green, so far, he's not getting any defensive stats. Like Cade Cunningham, Cade Cunningham is getting the defensive stats, and Cade Cunningham should be getting some assist. Jalen Green is not getting a lot of assists or rebounds or defensive stats, and his free throw is not elite either. He's gonna get a bunch of points and threes, and that's it. Kevin Porter Jr., the counting stat look fine. Like, if you ignore the 8 for 14, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal in the block, and 2 threes, but the 8 for 14 from the free throw line is horrible. And 5 turnovers, he continues to turn the ball over at a leading NBA at a crazy rate. But looks like the Rockets are going to stick with him. So in fantasy, if you're pounding some efficiency categories, I think it's totally fine to hold him. Otherwise, if he's not for your team, I will at least look to try to trade him to a team that's pounding a couple of efficiencies. Let's go to the next team, the Mavericks, losing to the Bulls. The Bulls are rolling at the moment. Mavericks, Kristaps Porzingis, great, 22 points and 12 rebounds with 2 threes, no blocks. If I can get a non-injury prone top 30 guy back, I would. Like, people in your league, well, he's 89th ranked player. That's pretty tough. So you just gotta hold. But for him, if he ever plays well, I would look to trade, because you're not gonna get a top 30 guy that's providing similar category value back. But maybe let's say a team really like his blocks and threes, for example. Then you can go to that team and get other category back, because that team really love what Porzingis brings to the table. So you could try to trade for a top 30 or 40 guy back from other categories. He's been disappointing so far this season for sure. A lot of injuries and only shooting 39. All the counting sets can only go up. I don't think he's going to average less than 15 points, right? Just the 27 minutes. So everything is trending upwards. It's just, can he stay healthy? I would look to sell high if he goes off for a couple of games. Once he gets inside the top 30, I'll look to try to trade. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 5 threes, and that's all he does. Luka Doncic, bad efficiency everywhere, but 10 assists is good. 4 steals and a block. This is probably gonna be his season high in the steal category. And Jalen Brunson, I think we gotta hold. It's hard to find a guy that could average 5 assists a game. Had 7 assists and a steal here, and close to 30 minutes. I think we gotta hold. And Dorian Finney-Smith is a really good streamer. He's kind of the Utah Jazz guy. Royce O'Neal, grab some rebound, hit some threes, and get you some defensive stats. They're very similar NBA players. And for the Bulls, DeRozan still took 20 shots DeRozan is the number one option on this team, close to number one, number two. If we just look at, he's been getting to the line 7.5 times a game and shooting 19.2. That's more than Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is shooting 18.6, so 0.6 more shot attempts per game, and he goes to the free throw line 1.4 times more than Zach LaVine. So you could argue, okay, Zach LaVine does have more assists. Assists also goes into the usage, but you could say, usage-wise, just in terms of how many shots is he taking, DeRozan is getting more. He's averaging 26 points. Maybe he could do this all season. Like if he's averaging 19 field goals a game, obviously the efficiency is a bit high, but he's easily a top 35 player for DeRozan. That's not too crazy. So if he can get any top 20 guy back, I just keep DeRozan. Vucevic, great, 18 and 10. One of his best games, but still a little bit. Just want to see him have that one huge game to get some confidence back. But he shot the ball pretty well, though. Zach LaVine, easy win, 8 for 12. But I do worry, with DeRozan, he's still averaging 26 points. So that's great. But there's no defensive stats, and, his turnovers has improved. So I think Zach is probably at his ceiling now, 22nd ranked player. If I can get any top 20 guy back, I would. Lonzo Ball had 7 threes, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. For Lonzo, right, like the scoring is great and 7 threes is great. I just want to see him do more defensive stats. And Alex Caruso, just at 23 minutes, had 6 steals. That is why we have Alex Caruso on the team. It's just getting the steals and some assists. So if you need those, if he's out there on a waiver wire, like I would go pick him up. Let's go to the next game. Oh boy, we have 7 more games to go through. That is a lot. Okay, the next game, the Charlotte Hornets beating the Grizzlies. Gordon Hayward was great, probably a sell high. Miles Bridges, even though he didn't shoot the ball well, 3 for and only took 11 shots, but he did everything else. I still think he's a top 30, 40 guy. 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Look at that, 2 steals and a block. Mason Plumlee, not a must roster, but if you're pounding points and threes, you want to get him on your squad. And he fouled out in 27 minutes. Terry Rozier, like I said, he won't be a top 50 player. I'm pretty confident. More of a in the top 70 or 80 range type of player. A lot of other young, his ranking is all the way down, just averaging 14 points. There's no way he's gonna average 20 this season, I don't think. And LaMelo Ball also struggled somewhat shooting the ball, but did everything else: 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals and 2 threes, just the 12 points. And Kelly, the big news here is Kelly Oubre Jr. went off. I don't think I will be, because he went off. Miles Bridges, only took 11 shots. Oubre Jr. is not a must roster. We could stream him from time to time if they got a back-to-back. If somebody's out, hurt, like Gordon Hayward is out, resting for back-to-back purposes, then we could stream him. But in all the other circumstances, I wouldn't touch this guy. For the Grizzlies, the big news here is Dillon Brooks is back. Yeah, he played really well. If he's out there on the waiver wire, I think we gotta pick him up, especially if you're pounding field goal. But DeAnthony Melton still got 32 minutes this game. Desmond Bane, 20. I mean, he played horrible, 1 for 10, had 6 personal fouls. I'm okay moving on from Desmond Bane, and I would check DeAnthony Melton's minutes, because Desmond Bane, this game was obviously horrible, but he's just a 115th ranked player. He gave you the 15 points and 2.5 threes. He's not a big defensive guy, so I much prefer DeAnthony Melton. So I'm okay moving on from Desmond Bane, obviously, to be honest, and I would just hold DeAnthony Melton, see what the minutes. The guy just needs 25 minutes a night. He may not get that once Dillon Brooks is fully ramped up. And again, I would try to trade DeAnthony Melton, because I guarantee he won't play 32 minutes a night. I can guarantee you that. Not guarantee you, but 80% confident. But you never know. Jaren Jackson Jr., one of his best games. For him, it's about staying on the court. He played 30 minutes here. That's great. And Ja Morant, I also think it's a sell high if he can get any top 20 guy back. The counting stat looked really good though. 32 points, 8 assists. I mean, this year his steal numbers. That's one surprising part about him, is he's getting so many steals. 3 steals here. I still think he's a sell high if you can get a Jason Tatum, like I would. Kyle Anderson, 25 minutes. Yeah, all the Grizzly bench guys, they all come and get 20 to 25, 15 to 20 minutes a night. There's so many guys, good fantasy players as well. Let's go to the next game. The Oklahoma City Thunder beating the New Orleans Pelicans. Lu Dort went off this game, but we know he's not gonna do this every single game. There is Basley. If you want to stream him for some points and threes, a little bit rebounds, go for it. Derek Favors started again. I think Jermaine Robinson-Earl started last game. At some point at the center position for Oklahoma City, somebody's going to come in and play 25 minutes consistently. Either it will be Isaiah Roby or Pokusevski. I don't know. Pokusevski is too small for a center to be, actually. Or Muscala. I don't think Derek Favors will be getting 20 minutes once we get to the second half of the season. Shea played okay. I mean, counting stat looked pretty good. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, still in 2 blocks, but the efficiency is still rough. I think he's still a buy low in category leagues. He's like outside of 50. He should be a top 30 guy pretty comfortably. Yeah, he's 56 ranked player. Josh Giddey, his rankings in categories are not the greatest because the low efficiency and high turnover. But if you just look at that, like 5 offensive rebounds, 12 rebounds, 9 assists and a steal, and he's a rookie, so all the counting stats have room to improve. He's already doing a good job getting the rebound and assists though, and steals and blocks. For the New Orleans Pelicans, they're a mess right now. Ingram is out. Yeah, where is Pelicans? Oh my God, are they the worst team? Are they the worst team in the NBA? Where are they at? Where is their rankings? Yeah, they're 1-11. My God. That's actually not great for Valanciunas or and Zion, to be honest, because Zion is kind of injury prone. So when we get to the second half of the season, the Pelicans is like the worst team in the league. They wouldn't play him that high minutes, and if he ever gets hurt, they're just gonna sit him out. So I think the fact that they're 1-11 makes Valanciunas a bigger sell high. Like I would try to sell him. Like I would even lower the price if I can get I was gonna say sell him for top 30. Like sell him for top 40 or 45. I would probably just do it. But right now he's playing so well. 25 points, 15 rebounds, and still in a block, and took 20 shots. Everybody's out at the moment. Josh Hart, he got ejected, but I think we could still roster him. He provides some threes and some rebounds. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I'm not too worried about him. Even if they go 1-80, like he will still get minutes the 82nd game. He also went off. He's obviously struggling pretty hard. Really good game here. 10 rebounds, two steals and a block out, and I would just hold him. The efficiency gonna be rough from time to time. This is a good start. Devontae Graham, if you're counting rebound, blocks, and field goal, he's great. A must roster. And the assist is hard to get on the waiver wire. Damn, Pelicans 1-11, worse than the Rockets. Rockets are 1-10. I didn't even notice. 1-11. The next game, the Kings lost to the Spurs, 117. Spurs scored 136 points. That's pretty impressive. For the Kings, we have Harrison Barnes cool off somewhat. If he can get any do a 2-for-1 to get any top 30 guy back for Harrison, I'm more than happy to do it. But if not, just hold. If all your league mates hate Harrison Barnes, because the guy was not good in fantasy for so many years, you know. So I just don't expect him to be all of a sudden a top 30 guy this year. He's still the 19th ranked player. Richaun Holmes only played 18 minutes. He should be fine. Just grab 12 rebounds, and he was not in foul trouble. You know, they decided to go small this game a lot. So yeah, Richaun Holmes should be fine. Buddy Hield, 12 points, 2 threes. We gotta hold Buddy Hield because he just makes too many threes. And Tyrese Halliburton should be back soon. So I don't think that will impact Buddy. Buddy will just come off the bench. Everything will be the same. De'Aaron Fox finally had his best game of the year. He was horrible to start off the season. You know, great efficiency from both the free throw line and the field goal. 37 points, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 6 assists. Hopefully he can do this more. He's had a pretty tough start. And Davion Mitchell took 16 shots, the second most on the team. Is he a must roster? I don't think he's a must roster. And where the defensive stats go? Zero defense. You know, if he's not going to average 1.2, 1.3, I don't really see why we want to roster this guy. For the San Antonio Spurs, Keldon Johnson is a surprise. You know, the line looks really pretty. Where is Keldon? He's a 160th ranked player. You know, his upside is very limited, so I don't think I want to roster him. If I could sell him for any top 100 guy, like if I actually trade him for Franz Wagner, I would absolutely do it. 8 points, 3 steals and a block is great, but he's not going to do this every game. And after this game, he's still just a 160th ranked player. Drew Eubanks and Thaddeus Young, they are splitting the center minutes at the moment. I think both guys need to be rostered once Pirtle comes back. And I like Thaddeus Young, so I would hold and see, you know, because he doesn't need 30 minutes to be productive. You know, he just needs the 24. So if Pirtle comes back, and if Young still can get 25, 26, then he's continues to be a hold. Derek White is a buy low. You know, 1 foot just took the 6 shots and 2 points. But 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block is pretty good. And DeJounte Murray remains to be a huge sell high. Any top 20 guy for DeJounte, he's the 11th ranked player. He said, you know, any top 20 guy, I don't think I would too much. I don't think I would worry too much. You know, if I can get any top 20 guy back for DeJounte Murray. He's playing too well at the moment. 18 points, sure, he could continue doing that. And 2.2 steals, that's too high. He's shooting, you know, the crazy part is his percentages are not that crazy. You know, 45% from the field and 74% from the free throw line. But he's only turning the ball over 2.1 times, averaging, you know, 8.2 assists. That is Chris Paul level elite. 2.2 steals is obviously not sustainable as well. But who knows? He might just be a top 20 guy. So if I think that will be his ceiling, top 20. So if you cannot get a top 20 guy back, just hold DeJounte. The problem with him is just he's, you know, doesn't shoot many threes as a guard, but as a point guard he pulls 8 rebounds. So far DeJounte has been pretty good. We got 4 more games. This is gonna be a 15-minute video. The Pacers losing to Denver Nuggets. Malcolm Brogdon came back, have a huge. I mean, Brogdon. I ride with him for 1 more month, and I look to trade him. He is. This guy has done it 3 years in a row now. He's a 15th ranked player. He's gonna fall off a cliff second half. You know, if I have to bet, you know, my prediction is him, Sabonis, Julius Randle, those guys, they go hard in the beginning of the season, and once the second half comes around, they kind of ran out of gas. So I'm gonna look to trade him. Maybe ride with him for 1 more month. And the defensive stats, man, the 3 steals and 2 blocks probably won't happen again this season. 25 points is, you know, a great game from Brogdon. Chris Durote, 21 minutes. He's probably a drop. He has no upside. I mean, his best case scenario was a top 80 guy when everybody was out playing 30 minutes. Now everybody's back. He's not going to get the shots. He doesn't get that many defensive stats. He doesn't hit that many threes, so he's a drop, in my opinion. You could still hold him for a few more games. In my opinion, he's a drop. And TJ McConnell, we brought him back. He still got 20 minutes. That's surprising to me. Got the 9 assists, so just gotta hold him. Just gotta hold. Miles Turner, 6 blocks, and that's it. That's the most Miles Turner line. And Sabonis again along with Brogdon, because they go so hard in the beginning of the regular season. They just always run out of gas. 20 and 19, great. Are still in a block. Justin Holiday, yeah, not really interested in him. And look at the Denver Nuggets side. Will Barton, great, 30 points, 2 steals. This game Jokic was out. Jokic should be back. Will Barton is a sell high. He's the 30th ranked player. I don't think he's on the waiver wire anywhere. But I would actually do Will Barton for Mo Bamba. Well, and obviously they provide very different categories. But if I can do that trade, I would. Mo Bamba, the rebound and the blocks are hard to get. I mean, he's even ranked higher than guys like Tobias Harris, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, all those guys. I'm just going down the list. Even John Collins, OG. I would trade Will Barton for all of those guys. He's averaging 17.5 points, which I don't know if he, with Jokic around, he probably just the 15, 16 points. Well, 17 points is not that far off. 2.6 threes is a bit too high in my opinion. And 1.4 steals is also helping his value a lot. And he's shooting 49% from the field. So all those have room to go down. It could be a top 60, 70 guy though for the rest of the season, but just not top 30. So any top 30 guy, or like I would even add Will Barton plus somebody else for top 30. I think it's a perfect sell high opportunity. Monty Morris, 10 points, just boring. All the Denver Nuggets guys, not really great fantasy-wise. Let's go to the next game. The Portland Trailblazers losing to Phoenix Suns. Norman Powell, man, this guy does this every single year. 23 points, a steal, 3 threes. Just look at that line. Okay, the points is nice, the threes is nice, but he doesn't give you anything else, and he does it in a very efficient manner. So his rankings are always pretty high, right? He's ranked, and he doesn't turn the ball over. He's a 52nd ranked player. So all the guys in that area, like I actually prefer Gary Trent Jr. over Norman Powell. Have similar rankings. Norman Powell plus somebody for Bam Adebayo. Norman Powell plus somebody for CJ McConnell, Vucevic, Shea, Bradley Beal, Ayton, Devin Booker, Allen. Pretty much all the other guys that are in this range, I think are better than Norman Powell. Robert Covington. What's up with Robert Covington, Yusuf Nurkic's minutes? Super low. Nurkic might be in some foul trouble, 5 fouls, but that's disappointing. Robert Williams, this game, Nestor Little and Larry Nance Jr. both got over 20 minutes because they were playing pretty bad. Robert Covington was a minus 13, so I could understand that. So still a hold, and Nurkic obviously a hold, but disappointing. Nurkic this year, we seen games where he, 78th ranked player, just disappointing, averaging just 25 minutes. I don't know what's up with that. Why is his minutes so low? If he play 30 to 35 minutes, then he's comfortably could be a top 50 guy. Not could be, he will be a top 50 guy if he gets 30 minutes a night. CJ is still struggling and no defensive stats. But he is where he is, top 50 in my opinion. And Damian Lillard, he's back. Took 23 shots. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 threes, and just 7 assists, just a 1-3. So I don't think, to be honest, over the years why Damian Lillard is always top 10. Biggest reason is he's the best free throw anchor. And this year, he's a little bit hurt, so he's not getting to the free throw line as much. So I do worry about that. The points, the counting stat look fine, but only 4 times for the free throw line. And so far, it's impacting everybody. It obviously should impact Lillard a little bit. This game's still the 90th ranked player, like 20 points. He could move that up to 23, 24. I don't think he's a first round player this year, to be honest with you. He's only going to the free throw line 3.3 times. and 0.7 steals. So if I could trade him for Jason Tatum, I would still do it before it's too late. For the Phoenix Suns, or Bradley Beal even. For Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges, great. The minutes is great, but where are the steals? There's really, Mikal Bridges, there's nothing else to talk about. I just look at his steal numbers. He should be averaging 0.7, 0.8 blocks as well. So far he's been doing that. Like the blocks is not an issue, just the 0.7 steals. Gotta move that up to 1.3 to be inside the top 50. Jay Crowder getting the steals, 3 steals, is a streamer, mainly just a 3 and rebound and some steal streamer. Jay Crowder, JaVale McGee got the start. Like Ayton is out, so we have to stream Kaminsky or JaVale McGee. If you need rebound and blocks, for sure stream JaVale McGee. And Kaminsky, this is his best game. 31 points, just completely went off versus the Portland Trailblazers. So it's just one game. Let's not worry about it. And Devin Booker, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Still disappointing. And with Chris Paul around, I just don't think he's gonna average 6 assists a game. So if he's just gonna be 4.8, close to 5, which is still fine, but the guy doesn't offer you, anything else. And the free throw, he's the 59th ranked player. To be honest, to me, he's just a top 50 guy, top 50. If he gets some defensive stats, and he can move to top 40, and he's just averaging the 22.6 points. That should probably go up. And Chris Paul played. So that's interesting. Is Chris Paul and Cameron Payne play alongside each other. You add them up, they have 53 minutes total. So Chris Paul is obviously good here. Cameron Payne is, if the guy gets 25 minutes at some point this season, 25 minutes, then, I look to, stream him at least. Let's go to the next game. We got 2 more games. The Timberwolves losing to the Golden State Warriors. This is a crazy game, to be honest. People on both sides are going off. On the Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards played 41 minutes at 48 points. Man, he's good. And 60% shooting. Free throw line and turnover pretty rough, but 7 threes for the he's a top 30 guy in 9 category leagues. I think. Maybe a sell high if you can get if you can trade Anthony Edwards for Bradley Beal after last night, I would still do it. But great stuff. He is, after this game, still just a 36 ranked player, although his points average moved up to 26. The problem is his field goal is not great. It actually hurts your field goal. 43% is pretty bad. 77% from the free throw line on 4 attempts is also not good, and he's turning the ball over 3.3 clips. But everything else looks pretty good, averaging 3.4 threes as well. Jaden McDaniels started, had 5 fouls in 14 minutes. So who got the power forward minutes? Vanderbilt played 18. Naz Reid actually came in and played 25. So I don't know. Nobody really needs to be rostered at the moment. Karl Anthony for the power forward position. Karl Anthony Towns is great, 17 and 12. Patrick Beverley, I think we gotta pick him up. 35 minutes. D'Lo played this game. Everybody is healthy, and he got 35 minutes. We could look to stream him, to pick him up if we're pounding points. Even if we're not pounding points, I think you can probably pick him up. He's a multi-category guy. D'Lo also one of his, probably a sell high, to be honest. I'm not too high on D'Lo. He did not have the best game here anyways. If you can get a top 60 player back for Russell, he will go to stretches where he dropped 30 points. For the season, he's just averaging 17 points and 38%. That is bad. 108th ranked player. He's probably a top 90, 100 guy due to the inefficiencies. But the counting stats should be pretty good for D'Angelo Russell. Naz Reid played 25, yeah. Naz Reid has a good upside, but I don't think he'll get consistent 25 minutes. For the Warriors, Draymond Green left the game halfway through, but he should be fine. He's not And he went 7 for 8 from the free throw line, so that's good. So he was shooting like 50% from the free throw line because first week he went 2 for 9. So good to see him hit some free throws. I mean, he's not gonna score a bunch of points, but 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block in 20 minutes is pretty good. And on the Warriors side, Wiggins went off. It's not Curry this time. 14 for 19. I guess this is a revenge game against his former team. I mean, if you want to sell high Wiggins, this is a chance. Any top 80, 90 guy, I would do it. And come on, Looney with Draymond, he got a few more minutes. 17 rebounds is huge. He got 12 offensive rebounds. That's not going to happen again. I look to actually nobody's going to buy Looney, so I would just hope if Draymond continues to be out for a few more games. Jordan Poole, bad efficiency, 2 threes are still, and just to me, I think he's a top 100 guy. If the efficiency goes up and if he can maintain 1.4 steals, he could push up to that 60 and 70 range. Steph Curry, 25 points, a below average game from Curry. Really not much to talk about. And Iggy came in and played 25 minutes, had 8 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Iggy could be a good stream, if you need those peripheral stats. All right, let's talk about last game of the night. Oh man, so many games. The Miami Heat losing to the Lakers. This game did not go to overtime. The big news here is, Jimmy Butler got hurt. He hurt his ankle. I don't think it's too serious. But it always seems that he's always hurt. So if he comes back, I think I want to trade him for Harden, if I can. PJ Tucker, minutes is high. 30 minutes, 13 rebounds. But not once in, but not we don't want to run him. We don't really want him. Bam had a huge game. 28 points, 10 rebounds. Look at this free throw. 10 for 11, 6 steals. He's not really blocking shots this year. So if the steals and blocks go up, he is a top 20 guy. Duncan Robinson played 45 minutes. My God. Tyler Hero played 42. This game went to overtime, right? Yep. So this game went to overtime. Duncan Robinson just a 3-point streamer, hit 3 threes. Kyle Lowry with Jimmy Butler out. No surprise. He got the 11 assists, 1 steal, 6 rebounds, and 18 points. Kyle Lowry, we should never drop him. I know he had like 0 points last game. It was a good buy low. After this, it will be hard. Tyler Hero, 27 points. Tyler Hero, if I can get a top 50, 60 guy back for Tyler Hero, I would. But his ranking right now is not, he's 85th. This is probably where he is. 85th, continue to average 20 points and 3 threes, but absolutely no defensive stats. For the Lakers, AD is great. 24 points. It took him 23 shots to get there. 13 rebounds. I want to see AD get more defensive stats. And I don't think his free throw is going to go back to that 85%. Probably just 75. That really hurts his value. Avery Bradley, he had huge minutes, but let's just leave him on the waiver wire. And Malik Monk also played really well. But I would rather much have Melo than the other 2 guys. Melo played okay, just 1, 3, and 12 points. And Russell Westbrook, with LeBron out, just putting up, this is what he does. 12 rebounds, 14 assists, and 25 points. That's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.